let me just say that we continue to talk about how great Montgomery County students are, and it doesn't stop once they go on to college. It's an amazing feat that continues where they continue to press themselves not only to be good students, but also to be good stewards in our community. And so when we were having this conversation before about the Constitution and its importance, it's also important to make sure that our republic is educated about the things that are happening in our community. And while there may be some folks who want to argue about the facts of climate change, the reality is that we only have to turn on the television today and look at the number of storms that are happening and how our sea temperatures are rising to understand there are significant differences beyond what used to be there when it comes to our climate. All we have to do is look to our ice caps that are melting and understand that there are tremendous changes that are happening throughout our world. And so these students came up with a way to not only inform people about this, but to do it in a way that is incredibly educational and relevant in today's age. Many people are gamers, and to be able to create such an enlightened message through the spirit of gaming to educate our young people is just absolutely tremendous. I hope that the two gentlemen that have joined me, both Dustin and Peter, think about a career in teaching, because being able to figure out creative ways to teach others is what teaching is all about. So right now, before you've even started down that pathway, you've already become teachers. And as the father of a middle schooler, I can tell you that I know she will play this game and be very, very happy about it. Just to give you a little bit of information about the game itself, this competition, Tech 295, where students learned about the rapidly growing non-digital game industry and how the mechanics of these games can be used in entertainment and other educational fields. They competed, and this grew out of a climate education and literacy initiative in 2014 by our National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the White House Office of Science and Technology. And last year, two MC graduates, Russell Allen and Chelsea Tran, won third place with a virtual reality game about fighting wildfires. So the history is there, and this year, both Dustin, Peter, and Ben won first place for their game called Sea Level Slow Up, where U.S., Canada, and yes, in fact, even Russia, all come together to achieve carbon neutrality to avoid flooding due to sea level rise. And this game is designed, again, to teach middle schoolers about climate issues in the Arctic. And so it is with great pleasure and honor and thanks because our future generations are going to be the ones that continue to take care of this planet and teach the other generations that come behind them about how important it is to take care of this planet, that we honor you with these proclamations. And so I'll read it very quickly, even though it's long, and I apologize. Whereas Arctic climate change is faster and more severe than in most of the rest of the world, with the warming rate being almost twice that of the global average, and even a slight change in temperatures rising above the freezing point can significantly alter the character of the region. And whereas the Arctic Climate Game Jam competition was a 2014 initiative by NOAA and the White House to create a vehicle to promote STEM education and encourage players to learn about the effects as well as solutions to Arctic climate change through the creation of new game prototypes. And whereas Montgomery College students Dustin Snowatsky, Peter Berg, and Ben Hempel won first place for their innovative game, Sea Level Slow Up, that has players work with their Arctic Circle neighbors to reach carbon neutrality so they don't become flooded due to sea level rise. And whereas these students were part of the inaugural Tech 295 class in board game design at Montgomery College, where students learn about the fastest growing non-digital game industry by using design, teamwork, and production skills to develop their own game. And whereas Montgomery College's gaming and simulation program has been steadily increasing in enrollment over time, and many graduates transfer to UMBC at the universities at Shady Grove to complete their 4-year degree in gaming and some gaming employment with local employers like Bethesda Softworks and ZeniMax Online Studios awaits them. So now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognizes and applauds the innovative and environmentally substantial work of Dustin, Peter, and Ben in winning the College University category of the 2017 Arctic Climate Game Jam. And it's presented this 19th day of September in the year 2017, and it's signed by our council president, Roger Berliner. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you so much to the County Council and to Mr. Rice for recognizing our gaming students and their hard work. It's very exciting for the students to see the County Council's enthusiasm for their achievements. I'm so proud of Peter, Dustin, and Ben for creating their amazing game about rising sea levels in the Arctic Circle. Their game is fun and educational, and they're busy working on a professional version that can be used in middle schools around the world. And I'm sure you'll be hearing about them a lot in the future. I'm also proud of Russell Allen and Chelsea Trow, who I think is finding parking. Traffic was bad. For their third place winning game from last year's Climate Game Jam, they made a game using virtual reality to fight forest fires. And in their game, the player wears VR goggles that Russell brought to play as a firefighter to fight forest fires like the fires that are burning through our western states right now. You can put them on if you want.
I'll wear it the whole time.
We brought props. And the player in their game must deal with drought and water shortages while fighting the forest fires. And I'm also extremely proud of all the gaming students in my class who entered the contest. Whether or not they won is not important. They took the risk of putting their ideas out there, and risk-taking is a huge part of learning and of growth. I'm grateful to the organizers of the Climate Game Jam for creating this contest and helping students learn how games have the potential to simulate complex systems and like the environment, and to solve challenging problems. And in our world, we're dealing with so many complex and systematic problems. And we need to train the next generation to be able to think critically, creatively, and systematically about potential solutions. We talk a lot in education about critical thinking skills, and that's not enough. Students do need to be able to learn to think critically. They need to be able to argue their points, point out errors in logic, but they also need to be able to think creatively and to understand how different parts of a complex system can work together. They need to understand that decisions are not just linear, but are geometric. To think out of the box, but also to really understand the shape and function of the box and why the box is in our world. I'm so grateful to Montgomery College for allowing the gaming program to develop and flourish. When I started the program over 12 years ago, gaming wasn't really recognized as an academic subject. It wasn't seen as serious. In fact, many programs couldn't put gaming in the title of their program. They had to call it simulation. But Montgomery College leads the way in education by responding when the world is transforming and when new game-changing technologies are released. Like our gaming program, computer science, web and mobile technology, cybersecurity, and biotechnology programs, Montgomery College is always ready with cutting-edge training for our student and workforce needs. Especially in technology, we know our world is changing at light speed. I'm so thankful to Montgomery College and leaders like Dr. Pollard, thank you for being here, and to all our funding partners like the Perkins Grant for supporting these new technologies and bringing them into the classroom for student success. So finally, thank you again to the County Council and to Mr. Rice for the great honor of issuing this proclamation for our hardworking gaming students. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you to Montgomery College first and foremost. We're happy to represent the university, or I'm sorry, the college going forward, and especially Professor Solomon, who has been guiding us for over 3 years, and 3 semesters. I didn't write this down, so. But thank you very much for all you do and for pushing us to come up with this idea and put our idea out there, and just can't even believe the reception we've had, and just can't thank you enough.
Well, it's quite an incredible opportunity. I'm happy to represent Montgomery College with Dustin and as an individual as well. Honestly, I've never had an opportunity like this before, and it's really cool to have this sort of recognition and to have brought such, well, I believe, an innovative idea to a place where people can see it and understand not only what we were trying to do, but understand the concept that, well, I also did not write this down. The long and short of it is that I'm speechless. For once I am speechless. And if you know me, that's not often.